and welcome to Portal 64. You're cordially invited to watch RWBY with me. I'm your host, David, and we're watching RWBY Volume 7, Chapter 8. We're finally going to be seeing some more Jacques Schnee and the Schnee Manor. We're going to see Whitley and like how he's a turd, but he was manipulated to be a turd. I don't know. We'll see, hopefully, behind the curtains, the Schnee family. Will we get an Atlas Ball? I don't know. We'll find out. Will we find out that Weiss's mother likes grapes? Will we even see Weiss's mother? Would we find out more of the bad guy plot? I don't know. If you want to know the discussion behind it, you should watch Vitalcast number 90 with Freelancer Amber. Vitalcast is my RWBY podcast, live streamed now on Saturdays at 9 a.m. Central, an hour before the RWBY episodes drop, and when the reactions should drop if Rooster Teeth unblocks them on time. No shade. Anyway, I had episode 89 with Dashi Lee as well, which I just finished a little bit ago before this recording. You guys should check out both episodes of Vitalcast. Anyway, as always, the link is in the description down below, and we're going to start this right about now.
Only
and
my
the handwriting we
father
can't
turned
read.
A hostile takeover into a fluffy
They
PR
tweeted it.
move. On the news, he said he just wanted to break bread and hash things out. Maybe it won't be so bad. We do want
No,
the
it'll be
general to
bad.
start opening up to these people, right?
Yeah, but on his terms. Ironwood's going to be locked in a room at his rival's own dinner party.
Yeah.
Jacques says he's happy to moderate, but all that really means is he'll be the one controlling the conversation.
Not
I
hard to
agree
imagine
with
how that's
Oscar.
gonna play out.
I still can't believe he won. Robin was supposed to be the people's champion, wasn't she? There's
Almost as
just
if-
too many coincidences.
Yeah.
You really
Almost
think your
as if
dad
there's-
might have something to do with Salem?
Ha!
I think my father would do whatever it takes to win. And
Oh.
we should do the same.
Meaning,
Well, no one knows your dad better than you. And out of everyone going tonight, I'd say you're the only one who could snoop around the house and not be questioned.
Ooh.
If Jacques Schnee's up to something, I think we should know what it is.
Okay, I know I said we'll see a lot behind the scenes, but trust me, that was coincidence. I was like, oh. Like I said earlier, the show's been very good at saying what the fandom's thinking. Oh my gosh, they're just showing up in their normal clothes. They're not wearing the fancy stuff. They're all just showing up in
Suppose
their
we should
normal...
smile for the cameras?
Sir, with all due respect, you'd have to pay me.
That made him smile, though. I love winter. Stay strong, guys. They're just all in their normal hunter's clothes.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Where's Klein?
What an interesting way to say, hello, dear brother, how have you been? I'm afraid you won't find him here. He was let go. I can't imagine why.
Poor Klein.
General, exactly
Whitley.
how large do you think our dining room table
Stop being
is?
like your father.
I happen to know it's enormous, but most of my guests will be on standby in case the council requests additional eyewitnesses. Until then, I'm sure they'll be happily celebrating your father's victory.
Will there be a dance in assassination? I wondered, do those knights wake up and maybe fight and attack their... I would say their daughter, if I meant
For those of you
Jacques'
joining us in the
daughter.
dining room, please follow me.
Wish us luck.
I mean, they already invited you, didn't they?
Is that flirting? Ooh.
Care for a drink, sir?
No thanks. I think I'll just stick to patrolling the grounds.
Oh, man.
Words out of my mouth.
Sorry about that,
Right,
bro.
well, don't wander off, don't break anything, and be ready in case the general calls on you.
Also, their
Orders?
servant person
Let's
is
see them out of
Faunus.
house and home.
Counterpoint, how about we do wander off, consider breaking things, and then all that other stuff?
I'll be in touch.
Oh, they got the earpieces.
Dear sister,
Oh, dear.
I was hoping we could use this time to catch up.
Oh,
I have to know. Why did you go through so much trouble to leave home, only to come crawling back?
But I was hoping with him
This
knowing
might be a problem.
about Watts and
General
stuff that he...
Ironwood,
Maybe
please.
he's using it as an opportunity to take Weiss's side.
Have a
That's me.
seat.
One of us. that painting stood out because it's red.
Councilman
Are
Sleaze,
we gonna see it?
Councilwoman Camilla.
Councilwoman Hill would have had a nice ring to it. Though I suppose I should just be grateful I got invited to the table.
Miss Hill, that vigor of yours is precisely why we're grateful to have you with us tonight.
You.
What is she doing here?
What we're all doing here, James, addressing the concerns of our kingdom. Which means we have much to discuss.
Indeed. I was hoping we could start by...
Are we safe with her here, by the way?
Yes.
I do recall some confusion regarding her involvement in that horrific massacre.
As the official report stated, that footage was doctored. Penny is completely under my control.
Which is concerning, I think.
Concerning?
Poor Penny.
Let's talk about
Looks like she's
exactly
a
what it
fucking
is you control.
Yeah, he's
Why won't
very
this
much
kid
taking
buzz off?
We need to do something.
the situation in
What was
his
that earlier about breaking things?
Nora is way too eager.
Well, Whitley, I'm sure the company is lucky to have you. But if you'll pardon me...
And where exactly is it that you're going?
Careful! Messy food coming through!
Right, the company has promised me my own.
Are they gonna dump food on Whitley? Because
For a drink?
please.
Don't mind if I do.
Oh no! Look out!
I'm going to go get some more.
Is that the slow-mo guy's slow-mo sound? Dude, Red and Jean just smiling. I'm loving this Juniper. Yes. Yes. Turning purple. The pink purple. Please laugh
If you'll
wise.
excuse me.
Please laugh wise. This is so beat red.
The fact of the matter is,
Thank
you've
you,
operated with a
Crude.
fair amount of autonomy for the past few years, James. But what we need now is for you to work with us.
Sir,
Right,
I
Stephen
have...
It's
Colbert.
obvious that no kingdom intends to declare war on Atlas. We had no involvement in the incident at Haven. We have proof our drones weren't acting on orders at Beacon. At this point, the closure of Atlas borders is only
Winter.
serving to hurt our relations with the rest of the world.
Please
The
let Winter
rest of the
loose.
world? It's hurting us. The people of Atlas are suffering, and they want to know why.
Quite right, Miss Hill.
Does he
And I'm
open up?
afraid there's more than just your choices that have brought harm to our citizens as of late. Have your forces found any additional evidence as to who is slaughtering innocent civilians down in Mantle?
That is an
he might
ongoing
be
investigation. The
using a
details
room
of
in your
which are
manor.
classified, I'm afraid.
I'm afraid of the ever-growing list of classified information you seem to be keeping. I asked our fellow councilman here to shed some
Come on,
light on
Winter,
your
please
Amity
let
Coliseum
loose.
project, and as it turns out, they know about as much as I do.
Even you don't know?
The Amity Project will help with all of the issues you presented. But you have to understand that discretion is a top priority at this time.
Are you saying you don't trust us?
You can't just
Oh!
trust like everything else. You have to earn it.
Thank you, Winter.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Don't do that.
General, if I may be blunt, you have spent what little trust this council had left in you. The hacker who turned Atlas drones against us was never captured. Whoever's been murdering your critics is still at large. How are we supposed to give you our trust when you've given us nothing as of late?
That's not what.
Winter. That's enough.
She's just trying
Excuse
to do
me.
her best. And letting family affairs get in the way, but I say continue to let her do it. But Winter. Oh, it's the grandfather. That's who's in the painting.
Miss Schnee? Is everything okay?
I'm fine, thank you.
What are you
Keep
doing
up the
here?
great work.
It's kind of weird not seeing Klein around. He seemed like the only servant they had.
Hello, darling.
Is that... Are you Willow? Is her name Willow? Is what I mean.
Are you okay?
It's her mother. We know that.
I'll be fine. I just let my emotions get the better of me.
What do you mean?
You wouldn't understand.
I'll just open up.
Oh. Right.
No, not like that.
What I mean is, this place holds a lot of memories for me specifically. I thought I was in control, but you heard me. I sounded like a petulant child.
I thought you sounded fine. You were just speaking from your heart.
And that is precisely the problem. I should have just stayed in line.
No. You're a rebel.
I guess you're right.
Rebel
I don't understand.
Penny. Hey, Winter, can you just open up to Penny, please? I think you both need it.
I'm sorry I couldn't come down for your party. I'm afraid I'm not feeling well.
Yeah.
It's okay, Mom. It's fine.
Isn't her mom gonna be relieved to see her?
What are you doing in your father's office?
Just looking for something I left.
You.
That's right, you left. You left.
She seems unwell.
I need to use Father's computer.
Why?
Because I think he may have done something. Something wrong.
I thought we all simply assumed that at this point.
Yes, well, some of us are trying to do something about it.
She keeps covering her drink. She used to something bad happening? Or she'll just go straight from the bottle.
He started locking his home computer.
Yeah.
But he still has blind spots.
You can see him enter it. Okay.
You put a camera in here?
I put them in every room of this house. For our safety, in case I ever needed...
In case you ever needed what?
You haven't come back to stay, have you?
No.
No.
Good.
Man. Just such a complicated character.
Man came by. I'm afraid your father may be involved in something more dangerous than he realizes. No matter what happens, Weiss, please don't forget about your brother.
Whitley wants nothing to do with me.
Of course not. You left him alone.
He feels abandoned. So he's kind of holding, like, the abandonment against Weiss, which I can't blame him.
Who are you?
Who are you? Sorry. Notice that picture was from the Atlas Academy tweets that RWBY had. He's got a fancy black scroll. What the heck? Oh. Is that the... That's the heating company that Weiss mentioned in the last chapter, I bet. Bruh. And there's the photo
Hey, Mom!
guy.
It's snowing!
Is it? Or are those ashes? Why do I feel like they could be ashes? Or is it... That was... Wait, what? That's the end? That felt like such a weird spot to end it on. Or like such a weird place to end it on. Like... I mean, I assumed that was him turning off the heat. Oh. Oh, he turned off the heat and now it's snowing. Oh my gosh. Wait. I'm sorry. My brain is just like, hey, David, maybe when things aren't being warmed up, they get cold. is Mantle so cold that they need that heating company to prevent it from, like, snowing in there? To keep it habitable? Did he just start a potential snowstorm or blizzard? And he's gonna make Mantle so much worse. But, can't... I'm trying to see if there's, like, some sort of way to spin it back onto Jacques. You know, like, hey, they work with the Schnee Dust Company, as Weiss mentioned. Like, maybe, you know, now that Jacques the councilman, and now that they stopped working, then maybe people will be like, hey, we don't like Jacques, maybe we want to recount. I don't know. I don't know if you guys could hear that on the mic, but there are children screaming outside. or maybe that's just the background noise to RWBY right now. It's snowing and the kid starts running outside and he's screaming with all the other kids having fun in the snow. And then bad things happen. My dog barked. Yeah, okay. So there's been a common theory about Whitley. Hey, Angel, lady! Shh! I hope they don't bark again. But anyway, there's been a common theory that, you know, with him being a kid still, that he's being manipulated by Jacques. I totally understand and get that. And now with their mother, which I'm just gonna go a little bit more into the credits so I could see the name, because the credits will be the way we learn that. Alright. So, by way of appearance, as someone had told me from the other episode, Willow Schnee. Good job, fandom. We guessed it years ahead of time. By Caitlin Glass. That's who plays her. But, you know, like, she gave in, like, a valuable insight that pretty much made that theory canon, was, hey, yeah, of course, Whitley wants nothing to do with you. Weiss, you left him alone with Jacques. You know, like, you left us alone with Jacques. We all know that Jacques is a monster. So, yeah, that pretty much sums up the thing. Like, Whitley doesn't like Jacques either, I guess, is pretty much what that was saying. It's like, hey, he probably acts like Jacques, so Jacques eases up on him more? But, like, that's also just Whitley trying to cope to survive as well. So, yeah, congrats, RWBY. You guys did a good job lifting up the veil behind it just a little bit for us to see Whitley and, like, know that there is still, like, a person worth of, like, decent growth, or, like, becoming a decent person in there, or is a decent person, just we haven't had the opportunity to see that. So yeah, good job. I liked that. Also with Crow, I almost said Jean, but I meant Crow. With Crow, you know, seeing the alcohol and being like, no, like, he almost reached for it. Maybe I'm remembering it wrong, but to me it looked like he was like, oh yeah, no. Like, he almost out of habit reached for it, like, oh yeah, I could have a drink. Oh no, that doesn't sit well with me. I do not want that. And then he just immediately went on patrol, as if, like, he just did not want the Temptations literally walking around the room. So he's patrolling for security and stuff. Also, still with Crow, him and Clover, the little side glance in the previous episode, the conversation in chapter 5, or was it chapter 4, when they're in the truck, and now the, like, wish us luck, oh, they invited you, hot stuff, you know. Like, that was totally flirting. Someone at first, like, I thought, it was either Jason Liebert or Jason Rose. One of them two said something about, like, no, you don't want to cheer for Lucky Clover, you want to cheer for, like, Crow with Ironwood. But so far, I'm seeing nothing since the hug, you know, with Ironwood and Crow. So it's like, no, it definitely seems like Crow and Clover. Like, there's something going on there. I think it's pretty much being confirmed, you know. Like, I don't think I'm reading too into that. That was definitely flirting. We love Crow, our bi disaster. Yeah, guys, what did you think of this episode? I thought it was pretty good. I love the Juniper moment. The whole Team Juniper doing shenanigans things. Like, I could totally imagine them doing that back in Beacon. Not to get sad or anything, but like, I would have loved to see something like that when Pyrrha was still around. To just see like what part would Pyrrha take in it. But I just really love seeing that moment. Like, they're still kids. Like, they're still good doing their high school shenanigans, even though they're professionally licensed hunters now. and also just Ruby's laugh out in the distance, you could hear it just a little bit. Even when they were doing the wide shot of Weiss going back up the stairs, you could hear Ruby just laughing and being just giddy about it. Also, they showed up to a very fancy event in their raggedy hunter's clothes. I feel slightly robbed of them not having formal wear. I would have loved to see them all wearing like dresses and stuff, or like even like a suit and stuff. Like, I could see both Blake and Yang wearing like feminine suits, but it was a good episode. Also, since they're still at the thing, like, the party is still happening. It's happening in the next episode, which isn't going to be next weekend. It'll be the weekend of the first weekend of 2020. Oh boy, Kirby, don't tear us apart. I definitely feel like this episode is like a part 1 to a part 2. Like, it's a 2-parter episode, or 2-parter story, if that makes sense. Because we're still, like, in the middle of the little story arc, the little event going on. I really want Winter to open up to Penny. I want to say it looked like when Penny walked away that Winter was debating, like, do I go after her, do I not? And I'm hoping she does. I'm hoping she goes towards Penny, because Penny needs a friend right now. And Winter and Penny are always together, but what the scene kind of showed is they don't really open up to each other at all. Winter very much is like, conceal, don't feel. Sorry to quote that movie, but she was very much being like, I shouldn't have let my heart get in the way. I should have been like all knowledge and all restraint and, like, you know, just do what I'm told. But obviously, I mean, Winter, I feel like, as much as she thinks she's an obedient person, she's a rebel at heart, because she left Jacques first. She was the first to abandon Jacques and do her own thing. And I consider her a rebel in that way. Like, she's a free spirit in that way. With Ironwood telling her, hey, you're going to be the Winter Maiden next. And she's been like, yeah, even though I was told it, I made it my own. She's still being her own free person. She's like, yeah, this opportunity was presented to me, but I'm going to take it and make it mine. And I really hope that Winter learns to open up to Penny, kind of like a sister, because, like, Penny needs a sister. And, you know, they've been together long enough that you think there'd be some sort of familiar bond, or something that wasn't so cold, you know. I'm kind of thinking of, like, Halo, or specifically Halo 4, when, you know, Master Chief and Cortana, you know, a man soldier, like a human soldier and an AI, and Cortana asked the question, like, maybe at the end of this we'll find out who's really the machine. And it was like, oh yeah, Cortana, even though she's a machine, she feels all these emotions and stuff, and Master Chief, despite being a human, is very unemotional. And so, or at least until Cortana leaves. But it's kind of like I'm seeing, like, some sort of similarities between that. Like, Winter, despite being a human with a heart and stuff, she's like unwilling to feel emotions or let them get in the way. And then Penny, despite being a machine, is feeling all these emotions, and she's being very self-aware of that at the moment, because she kept going like, oh yeah, because I'm a machine, I can't relate to you, or like, you don't want to open up to me because like I'm different than you. And I really want Winter to just break down the barriers of her own emotions, kind of like how she let loose in that dinner, which, bravo, I applaud that. Can you please do that with Penny, please? Like, Penny needs a friend. Penny is being framed for a murder, which, you know, now the guy that just won a council seat is very much on the, yeah, she did a murder, I'm gonna definitely spread that around, you know. It's just, I want good things for Penny. RWBY, please open up 2020 with Winter talking to Penny. I want that. I think it'll make sense. I think it's leading up to it. And also, speaking of Schnees and opening up, their mother, Willow, very complicated character. She at first seemed like she was so intoxicated, things weren't clicking with her head immediately, because it was like, oh, Weiss just walked into the room, and the first thing she thinks, why are you in the room? Like, what are you doing in the room? And then it was like, oh yeah, you ran away. It seemed like, I don't know, like I don't think I processed everything in that scene enough to like fully grasp it enough to communicate exactly what I'm thinking with her mother. But the mother, she seems like a smart person deep down, because obviously she planted the cameras, and she's like, hey, good job on you, Weiss, for getting out. I'm happy you escaped. Your brother, however, he's a little miffed about that. You know, like, oh, you think he doesn't care? He did. Now he's gonna be holding a bit of a grudge against you because you left him all alone to go to Beacon, and then you came back, and then you left him again. Like, so she's able to see things, but she's too swallowed up in being drunk, or like in her alcoholism. Like, she's drinking away the pain. Seems like her coping mechanism. And I could see with her being that way, like, Weiss was very much, you know, sad when she picked up the bottle and was drinking, with that shot where you see the bottle in front of Weiss, and Weiss is all warped, but she's sad. I could see why Winter did not like Crow's drinking at all during Volume 3. She's like, he's drunk. He's always drunk. Like, that's one of the only times I could remember her, like, actually being angry. And I don't mean, like, when she's talking to Weiss and she's, like, giving punishments, or, like, I don't know, when she's trying to, like, I don't know, like, it seems like with Weiss, she was very much trying to, like, no, like, be strict, like, be disciplined with Weiss. I don't think that was, like, anger so much, whereas with Crow, it felt like genuine anger. And then in the scene where she yelled at her father, that was, again, genuine anger. I think with Weiss, it was just her trying to be disciplined with Weiss and give Weiss, like, it's a weird form of love. Like, she's like, I'm disciplining you because I don't want anything bad to happen to you, and I want you to achieve better, and therefore I'm gonna snap at you and point out the small flaws. Winter's a weird perfectionist. I don't entirely agree with it, because I think it's unhealthy. And I think this episode kind of showed that it is unhealthy. She's been holding out a lot of emotions that she shouldn't. Like, she needs to be seeing a therapist or something. She needs to be able to let those emotions out more frequently and not be so hard on herself, because how hard she was being on Weiss is how hard she's holding on herself, as we're seeing in this episode, and you could kind of see it in past episodes too. But anyway, what did you guys think about this episode? Let me know down in the comments down below. Please watch Vodalcast. It's my RWBY podcast. We had episode 90. It streamed just like an hour ago before this reaction came out. Hopefully, if this reaction came out on time, we had Freelancer Amber. And I don't know who we'll have for number 91 yet, but we'll get there. Remember, 9 a.m. Central. We'll be streaming it live. And as always, I will boop you next time.